Officials are investigating after a 33-year-old man fell to his death this week while touring the Grand Canyon.
Tucked away within the depths of the Grand Canyon lies a region so isolated, so protected, and so cloaked in secrecy that it has remained untouched by time. Known to few as the Forbidden Zone, this area has long been shrouded in myth, mystery, and Native American legend. Its steep cliffs, labyrinthine cave systems, and treacherous trails have kept explorers at bay for decades, until now. A recent scientific expedition backed quietly by a coalition of researchers, geologists, and anthropologists was granted highly restricted access to this off-limits portion of the canyon. What they found has left even the most hardened skeptics in disbelief. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The mission was covert from the outset, with team members sworn to confidentiality, satellite phones confiscated, and data stored on secure offline servers. For weeks, they scaled crumbling ridges and traversed paths barely etched into rock. The terrain was merciless. Extreme weather, poor visibility, and loose stone nearly thwarted their progress multiple times. But it was deep within a collapsed cavern, previously sealed by a rockfall estimated to have occurred thousands of years ago, that the team made the first of several shocking discoveries. Buried beneath layers of sediment and calcified debris was a chamber unlike anything ever documented in North America. Carved into the natural walls were intricate symbols, unmistakably deliberate geometric patterns that defied traditional tribal markings. The room stretched nearly 80 feet long, and the air inside was strangely temperate, as if sealed by a natural climate control system. At the center, a stone altar stood flanked by towering statues, each nearly 9 feet tall. Their features, while humanoid, were distinctly non-native in origin. Elongated skulls, narrow jaws, and unnaturally long arms gave them an almost alien appearance. Carbon dating of organic material recovered near the statues placed the chamber's origin well before any known civilizations in the Americas. More perplexing was the composition of the statues themselves. Unlike anything previously found in the canyon, they were crafted from an unknown alloy, a compound that did not match any naturally occurring metal formation in the region. Early metallurgical analysis suggests a highly sophisticated process involving heat levels and refinement methods that should not have been possible with the technology available in prehistoric North America. While the artifacts alone were mind-bending, the walls held even deeper secrets. One section of the chamber featured murals so vivid in pigment and design that they appeared freshly painted. These murals depicted figures standing beneath celestial bodies that did not match the known positions of Earth's current solar system. Some researchers theorized these could be symbolic, while others began comparing the alignments to star charts from millennia past. An eerie possibility began to take shape. What if these murals depicted a sky not seen from Earth? Adding another layer to the mystery was the discovery of a series of tablets embedded in the rock. The glyphs etched into these slabs bore resemblance to no known written language. They were not Mayan, not Aztec, and certainly not any variation of Native American symbology. Computational linguists have begun to analyze the patterns, and some claim they exhibit the structure of a complex, possibly phonetic language. This implies a society with advanced cognitive and linguistic capabilities, one entirely absent from any historical record. Adjacent to the chamber was a narrow passageway, partially collapsed, leading into what appeared to be a subterranean network. Once stabilized, the passage opened into a series of rooms, all carved with an architectural precision that defied the tools presumed to be available at the time. Some rooms had what appeared to be sleeping quarters, communal gathering spaces, and storage facilities. Remarkably, several clay vessels were recovered, sealed tightly and preserved due to the microclimate of the cave. Inside were seeds, many of which did not match any currently cataloged plant species on Earth. Biologists brought in to study the seeds under high-security lab conditions made a startling discovery. A few of the specimens bore DNA strands that had no match in any existing genome database. These were entirely novel organisms, plants that had either gone extinct before they could be recorded, or, more unnervingly, had never existed in the known biosphere. This raised immediate questions about the chamber's origins. Had an entire culture evolved in isolation deep within the canyon? Or were these remnants of something introduced to Earth? Among the strangest findings was a crystalline object embedded in one of the chamber walls. Initially believed to be quartz, Further testing revealed that it emitted a faint electromagnetic frequency, one that fluctuated with time and solar exposure. It behaved more like a memory storage device than a mineral. When exposed to certain light frequencies, the crystal began to pulse in a sequence. While the data stored within it remains undeciphered, early models suggest a binary structure, hinting at a potential information archive created by an intelligence beyond ancient human understanding. Equally confounding was the discovery of a perfectly circular pit near the chamber's end, its sides smoothed with such precision that it appeared machined. It descended straight into the earth for over 200 feet, according to preliminary sonar readings. No rope or climbing gear could safely navigate it yet. What lies at the bottom remains unknown, but the structure implies a vertical transport system, one incongruent with the ancient world's known engineering methods. Speculations range from it being a ventilation shaft to something far more complex, possibly even a form of ancient vertical transit system. One team member, a specialist in archaeoacoustics, noted that sounds made within the chamber did not echo in the expected way. Certain tones seemed to resonate through the stone, triggering subtle vibrations in the walls. This phenomenon led to experiments with harmonic frequencies, some of which caused the floor to tremble ever so slightly. The implication was clear. The room itself may have been built to respond to sound in a functional way, like an enormous acoustic device or ancient control system. Adding to the mystery, several artifacts appeared to be tools, though their design was baffling. A rod made of a lightweight, durable material was found with concentric rings around it, one end featuring an aperture no larger than a pinhole. When light passed through it, a complex refraction pattern danced along the cave walls. Whether it was used for signaling, magnification, or something else entirely remains uncertain. But the craftsmanship was beyond the capabilities of any known ancient culture. What has captivated the scientific community even more than the artifacts is the untouched nature of the site. No sign of looting, habitation, or natural intrusion suggested that this location had remained perfectly preserved since it was last used. The sealing of the cave by a rockfall could have been accidental, or it could have been intentional, a deliberate effort to bury a place not meant to be found. This has opened up an avalanche of questions. Could there have been a lost civilization operating entirely independently of known history? Could the Grand Canyon, long revered by indigenous cultures as a place of spiritual significance, actually be a cradle of unknown technological development or even contact? The legends passed down by tribes such as the Hopi, which tell of underground cities and star beings, are now being revisited with new scientific seriousness. Geologists too have become involved analyzing the structural anomalies in the cave's formation. Some features, such as the angles and load-bearing columns, resemble modern principles of architecture rather than natural erosion. One particularly strange phenomenon is the presence of magnetite veins forming symmetrical patterns in the chamber ceiling, something that does not occur in nature without external manipulation. These veins seem to align with constellations visible from this region over 10,000 years ago, suggesting the builders not only understood astronomy, but encoded it into their architecture. What scientists found in this forbidden zone is not merely an archaeological treasure trove, it is a paradigm shift. Everything about the site challenges what is known about early human development, technological advancement, and our understanding of civilization in the Americas. The artifacts don't just belong to another culture, they seem to belong to another timeline altogether. That such a place could exist in the heart of one of the most studied natural formations on Earth is almost as shocking as the discoveries themselves. Furthermore, the implications for history, science, and even human origins are staggering. If this chamber and its contents predate existing civilizations and possess knowledge or technology that defies our understanding, then it forces a reevaluation of the linear progression model of human development. The possibility that advanced knowledge existed and was lost, hidden, or even intentionally buried deepens the enigma of human history. In the weeks that followed the initial discovery, the team remained on site, continuing to scan and map the underground chambers. Subterranean LiDAR imaging revealed multiple offshoot tunnels, some of which may extend for miles. These routes could contain additional chambers or even exit points on the far side of the canyon. For now, only a fraction of the site has been explored, and yet every corner turned yields another layer of mystery. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on what scientists found in the Grand Canyon Forbidden Area? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.